Welcome to Oz Talk.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Tori.
Hi, Ryan.
What a week already. I mean, I feel like with everything building toward the Wicked movie coming out since they, pushed up the release to November 22nd, it is just every day, almost every week, a new reveal and something exciting.
I've noticed a pattern. When we hit those month markers, we're getting a little something, whether it be a new poster, a new featurette, a new trailer. So we hit that 4-month mark. We had the launch of John Shu's book, and then we went right into a new Wicked release. I am loving this pattern. Keep it coming, Universal.
Keep it coming. Yeah, let's go from every month to every week. Why not, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's take a look at Building the World of Wicked, the new featurette that was just released, and then break it down.
Sounds good.
We knew that we wanted Wicked to be immersive. What does it feel like to be in Oz? To feel it in your fingertips. If you want to be inside that world, you gotta build it. We gotta build Emerald City. We gotta build Munchkin Land.
To see all that detail, all of it adds to the things that you can imagine.
A lot of it is real, physical, tangible sets.
We gotta grow 9 million tulips. The good news is the train, which takes 2 days to move because it's 16 tons, is here now.
Come with me. What? To meet the wizard. I couldn't possibly. This is your moment. I'm coming.
I am Oz the Great and terrible.
Once you learn to harness your emotions, the sky's the limit.
This forest is enormous, but it's all in the details. All of this didn't just take production design, it took special effects, it took visual effects. It's pretty mind-blowing to think that it can go from drawings and ideas and a dream to sitting here today.
It's wonderful to be able to touch the space
And create this world in a way we've never seen it before.
Okay. I mean, it is for me that all those flyover scenes behind the scenes where they're just showing the scope of everything they built, it's so overwhelming and so immersive for the actors, which had to help the performance. Now, this is not a trailer. We're not seeing any performance, hearing any singing here, but just this is the answer to doing a fantasy film without too much CGI.
Yes, and I think with a world like Oz, where it is something that has been in people's imaginations for over a century, we've had MGM interpret it. CGI worlds are really great. They're really helpful to filmmakers. They make filmmaking less expensive. However, with something like Oz, it's tangible to all of us because it's something we all grew up with. So knowing that they tangibly built this, I had chills. I was near tears here watching it again because First of all, it's better than I imagined, but also the fact that somebody took the time to design Oz for us, to build it, that they were walking in it. Oh, it just means the world that they took the time and effort to do that.
I know, and it just had to really help all the performers too, because acting and getting into character and being in a different land as magical as Oz, to have all of that reality tangible, as they were saying, is just magnificent. And all the interiors are really spectacular. We're seeing, I love the overview, the flying over, and you get the scope of the whole thing, but the interiors too, which are things that maybe we never even imagined. When you're reading the novel Wicked, or you're seeing the show, which the show has very sparse sets. For 20 years, we've been seeing Wicked and its costumes and its performance. It's those voices. There's certainly set design that's effective, and effects too with Defying Gravity, but it's this fully built out, fully realized land of Oz that really puts everything else to shame. I got to tell you, Tori, right away, I'm having like a little bit of an identity crisis that I haven't yet had watching the first trailer and the teaser, which is that I might like this movie more than The Wizard of Oz.
Wow. That's a bold statement.
I mean, are you fearing that at all too? I mean, not that. I mean, we can like it equal to. It doesn't have to be a competition between Oz movies, but like, I feel like this is primed to deliver Oz to us on such a next level. I mean, we disagree about Oz the Great and Powerful. I liked it, you didn't, but I loved it in 3D, and I loved part of what I love about it is the color and the brightness. Seeing Oz depicted in that Technicolor we hadn't seen since MGM. We didn't get it with Disney's Return to Oz, and this looks like it's giving us all of that, but so realistically, and then with these songs, I'm really nervous about seeing it, because I think it's going to change. I mean, it's going to change all of our lives
for good. I'm less worried about liking it more than The Wizard of Oz, and I'm actually very confident that what this film is going to achieve is adding the best film to the Oz canon since the 1939 film. I think, because I think of it as a spectrum of Oz movies. I think of it as, a whole Oz multiverse. So for me, nothing will ever take the place in my heart of the Judy Garland film. But what I think this film will do is give us the best Oz film we've had in 85 years.
Yes, I absolutely agree. We got some viewers here. We've got this is Chandler is excited about Wicked. Sammy's saying hello to us, crying. These movies have been the biggest cinematic wish. It's so true. I mean, yeah, and I love that there's part 2. And we've said before, I hope that there's more. You never know. But I mean, like, how can you look at this and not think that it's going to be the film of the year, the film of the decade?
No contest. When people were worried about it going up against Moana, it didn't concern me at all. Going up against Gladiator, not concerned at all. This is going to be the cinematic event of the year. And I think the musical cinematic event of the decade.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh, Jack, the Wicked just released for the Paris Olympics a couple minutes ago. We don't know what that is. We're here. Yeah, we might have to look into that. Maybe Tori, you want to check that out while I'm
looking right now.
You go to that right now, because I'm going to take us through breaking down some of the stills.
The train just went through the Olympics. They brought the train to France. I'm looking at it right now on my phone. Check that out.
Wait, let's get you full screen. This is a 16-ton, in the words of John M. Chu, director.
They just moved that 16-ton train to Paris, France for the Olympics. Wow.
Magnificent. I mean, that is a stunt. I remember with Oz the Great and Powerful, they had the hot air balloon touring the U.S. to make stops promotionally, but that does not compare to a 16-ton train.
Wow. And I mean, moving that thing, they had to get that overseas, so that had to get on a ship somewhere. I hope we had 2 of them. Gosh, wow, what a feat.
Well, wait, from London to Paris? Yes.
Oh, that's right. It would have been in London, not in the United States.
Right,
so
right.
But they still would have had to put it on something.
But Tori, you're onto something, because I think they need to bring it here.
They could potentially, but I mean, when you look at the engineering feat of this thing, and we'll get into all of the engineering feats that we saw in this featurette, but wow, this is so neat. Thank you. Was it Brennan?
It was Jack.
Jack, thank you, Jack, for bringing that to our attention.
Brilliant.
Oh, we're live.
We're live. This is so great. That is like breaking news here for us and Wicked. But let's get back to building the world. because there's so much to digest here and look at and enjoy. First of all, right off the bat,
Yes.
this looks like when they're getting off the platform, maybe from Shiz to the Emerald City. Look at the ceiling. Just look at the architecture and the stonework there of the ceiling of this. Looks like the train platform.
Lots of Art Deco going
Mhm.
on here, and which is also very reminiscent of the 39 film.
It really is.
9.
And then looking at, this is just like a behind the scenes type shot, maybe, of the Emerald City and the walls here. I love the green and gold. We saw green and gold in Oz the Great and Powerful, in Legends of Oz, Dorothy's Return. Return to Oz did more of a silver, did some gold with the mirror work. I don't remember seeing any gold in MGM. I think it was strictly green. But in The Wiz, we certainly have green and gold. They call out gold for a while. So it's really great getting that whole pastiche here together, mixed up for what we're seeing in Wicked's Emerald City. Shiz University.
Shiz University, the exterior of Shiz University with that sign out front. And this is when you talked about sparse sets on Broadway. This is where John Shu and his team had the opportunity to fill in so many blanks, because you don't need that on stage. You fill it in your own head. But in cinema, they have to fill in that blank space for you. It's a different medium. And look at how they've chosen to fill the space. It is just gorgeous.
It really is magnificent. I mean, everything, and even just the touches of, maybe they're not working with electricity there. They're actually physically lighting and using real fire to light the path there. Here we go. Okay, Wizamania.
Wizamania.
I mean, starting with a blank slate and getting to do whatever you wanted and building a stage like this, we see Glinda and Elfie looking up toward the stage in the center front there, all the Oz Emerald City citizens, and we're going to get into the costumes there, but it's such an exciting stage. And
they released this on TikTok in vertical format. So what you're missing cut off from the top there is Wizomania is in lights above that stage, above the proscenium. It's gorgeous. I mean, the scale of these sets are out of this world. When people talk about walking onto grandiose sets, they often say it felt like walking onto the set of The Wizard of Oz. I cannot even imagine.
Right. Yeah, no, seriously. And I really hope, because so much work went into it, we know that they took down the outside sets of Munchkinland that were built in the area. But some of these interiors, especially as we're getting to the classrooms, the Emerald City, and even like Wizamania, whatever, I really hope they retain some of it for a walkthrough. There are other studios, and I really hope that Universal does a really great preservation project and opens up a walkthrough tour with a gift shop and with, a sampling of maybe what we see them eat and drink and the rest of it, because, I mean, that is a trip worth taking already.
Agreed, 100%. I mean, first of all, who knows? Maybe some of those things will end up in Universal theme parks. Who knows? But in the meantime, yes, I would love for them to do a traveling exhibition where they go around and, come to the major cities and show us the props and set pieces that made the world of Wicked. I mean, I would go see that in a heartbeat, in a clock tick, I might say.
It's so true. There we do see the Wizamania sign and more of the dancing. This is obviously One Short Day. Really cool centerpiece there too that is like a fountain, and just gorgeous with a hot air balloon up there.
Fantastic.
More of the Art Deco that you're talking about, which is really beautiful. And look at the costumes here. This is what I love. When we're looking at the way the costume design is coming together, at least for the Emerald City citizens, we see that Paul Tazwell, costume designer, incorporated from the stage show of Wicked. We see elements from the Wiz movie, from MGM's Oz. There's so much to pick apart here. And L. Frank Baum's, and we'll see in a little bit, we've got some of L. Frank Baum's Denslow's illustrations as well from the original novel.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Tazwell is already a part of the Oz canon. He designed the costumes for the Wiz Live, which they were really stunning.
Yes.
And he clearly spared no effort in making sure that Oz was a beautifully dressed country.
Yeah, seriously. I'm just looking through some of the comments here too. Everybody's excited about the train as well. Look at the interior here. This looks like, I think, Morable's office, perhaps.
Yes, we did see a quick scene of this in the last trailer when Elphaba and Madame Morrible are working together on sorcery lessons, and it did seem to take place in this room. This is probably the sorcery seminar room. And of course, she says she'll take on no other pupils. So this is likely where Elphaba learns to hone her magic.
I just love that it's like a dome-shaped room. We've got the kiss of the color blue from the Shiz University color, school color, and uniform there in the ceiling, and then some of the natural work. It's really, really just so cool. And
dare I say that centerpiece is Twister-like?
Oh, yes, you do. You do dare. I love it. We have to mention the 9 million tulips.
9 million tulips.
I mean, tulip has always been my favorite flower. What's your favorite flower?
Roses.
Roses, of course. They are for your little Rosa. Oh, congratulations, lead role in her school musical.
Yes.
Amazing.
She's the lead in her summer musical, Matilda.
Okay. Matilda, when is that?
August 10th and 11th.
Oh, I'm going to miss it.
Sorry.
I'll see you later. But you'll have pictures and everything, right?
Yes.
Very good. We look forward to that. But yeah, 9 million tulips. I mean, I can't even imagine if I get a dozen tulips, I'm happy, or put some in. I just like that also now we have a new flower to celebrate in addition to the poppies that we always like, but that put us to sleep, right? So now we have a tulip field that is just rainbow colored and magnificent. Okay, let's get into a little bit more of the costumes. In the Wizomania and One Short Day, I couldn't help but think, and I'm sorry to do this to anyone that is as traumatized by what I'm about to show as I was from the Wiz, but
I know exactly what it is.
You know where I'm going. The subway peddler dancing guys, I look like that's a little bit reminiscent of that, and it's brilliant, but also terrifying.
Yeah, that very well may be a subtle Easter egg to the Wiz, because yeah, it's kind of uncanny, isn't it?
It really is. Just the folds and the kind of accordion style of the costume there. I just love that. Munchkinland, turning it out, great colors. We see the fun hair colors. We've got red blondes and redheads and the rest of it. And again,
broomsticks in the background. I don't know if you noticed, but when it's in motion, you can see them swinging broomsticks in the background. You can see one there on the right. So I don't know if this is the opening and the good news, and they're celebrating with their makeshift broomsticks.
Oh, right.
But, that's what called to my mind.
Another angle here of Glinda arriving to Shiz University. Very well done. And you notice we haven't yet, and I don't know that it's listed on IMDb, but do we know who's cast as Glinda's mom?
I don't think that's been announced yet.
Yeah.
Not that I've heard.
Right. And I don't know. And it's not to imply that there's going to be any stunt casting or any cameos, any other roles. We do expect to see Kristen and Adina at some point pop up in the film, just because how could they not, But aside from that, there might be a couple other little surprises or not. It might just be, other really talented actors that they cast accordingly.
I feel like that would have definitely come out by now, especially since the press was on that set taking photos from above. I feel like that would have leaked long before now if that were the case.
Possibly. Yeah, especially since now we know who Dillamond is, right? Which was
exactly
Peter Dinklage. And we got a really great look. This is the first time we get a really nice close-up of Ethan Slater as Bach.
We've got to talk about this moment. We've got to talk about this moment because he sidles up to her. He slides in, smiling all coy. She's smiling. I really feel like they're taking this relationship in a different direction from the one we see in the musical. And I hope that they do, because I love Bach in the musical. However, he kind of gets relegated to comedic relief and for that first act before he experiences act 2, but I really feel like they knew each other as children. He knew their family, so in the book. So I would love to see them do more with Bach. I would love to see him and we see him again later in this featurette in the tulip field when they're all sitting together and he's sitting to her back looking over his shoulder at her. It's very cute. So I really do feel like this relationship is going to be totally different from what we know now.
It could be, because in the show they appear to meet first at Shiz, and Bach is very reluctant and kind of resentful of spending any time with Nesteros because he's doing it as a favor for Galinda. And so, yeah, that look here of him sliding over to her and smiling looks like they already have some chemistry that would not be typical of Bach's performance and portrayal in the stage version. So right, there could be a whole other added layer, and especially breaking it into two. This would be a really nice opportunity to give us a really great subplot that we can sink our teeth into, and maybe even give some more moments. I mean, we know that there's new songs, like the 2 new songs in part 2, but that doesn't mean that they have not also rewritten lyrics, added new vignettes to existing songs, added other moments of songs. Maybe there's a reprise that doesn't count as a new song, you know what I mean? Or a pre-prise to something from Act 2. You never know. So that is all very exciting for us to look forward to.
Yes. And again, this could just be Bach being a very good actor as he slides in to ask her out. But I'm hopeful, because Marissa Bodie and Ethan Slater are such talented performers. I want their story to be more robust. I want to see more of them.
Yeah. We have Brennan and Chandler saying they're looking forward to seeing this relationship play out as well. Some of their favorite characters.
Mine too.
Yes. This is very cool. And what I love about the monkey guards here, and they're monkeys, not winged monkeys, right? At this point in the story. And if you look at the spears they're holding, the design at the top is very similar to MGM's spear design.
That's very true. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I just love that. And even to like the dome shape as they're walking down this hallway, in MGM, we didn't have, as the Fab Five, including Toto, are walking to see the wizard for the first time, but it does have that kind of shaped, Art Deco tunnel look, which is really cool.
Yeah, beautiful.
Now, even John M. Chu was like, this forest is huge.
And again, all the circle motifs, I feel like those branches kind of form a heart. I'm wondering if this is a popular place for lovers to come in Shizune.
Ah, I love that.
Because, of course, the next shot we see is of Fiyero and Galinda. But this is just so massive. And again, they could have CGI'd this. This could have been blue screen, green screen. This could have just been phoned in. They built it. For no other reason.
What I love about this too is, in Act 2 on stage during As Long As You're Mine, we've got Fiyero with the lantern. And so already seeing him here in part 1 with the lantern, other Shiz students, it looks like are friends carrying lanterns. This looks like it's either before or after the Ozdust Ballroom, maybe on their way to the Ozdust Ballroom, but so cool. And yeah, I didn't notice that before, but you're right. The circles and kind of a heart motif there, so that might play in well. And I wonder if that's also giving us a vibe of what As Long As You're Mine, if that's in the same area, might look like in part 2. Speaking of the circles and the design, which we love because you pointed out before that it could have to do with the clockwork. We don't know yet to the extent or whether or not the time dragon clock appears in these films, but I love this hamster wheel that is fully functional and part of the choreography during Dancing Through Life. First of all, Jonathan Bailey, all day long. We haven't even talked about, but Best Supporting Actor.
I'm so happy that they highlighted him a little bit here, because not a lot of the marketing thus far has focused on him, which I think is right. It is right to focus, to center the ladies, because this is a story about feminine power and friendship. But Fiyero is a huge part of the story, and we hadn't seen much of him yet. So seeing his incredible dancing, he has a musical theater background. He's one of the most talented actors out there right now. This casting was delish. Although I know a lot of people have been saying they wish they had stuck with more of the book character, made him an indigenous person. But since they're going with the musical version of Fiyero, I'm glad that they picked Jonathan Bailey, because he is.
I'm so glad. As you said, he has a great West End background. He may do Broadway someday. He's already a Critics' Choice Award winner. He just received his first Emmy nomination for Fellow Travelers, which is one of my favorite series in history. He's so magnificent. I mean, his range, we haven't even seen. I feel like
I know
he's going to turn it out for Wicked, but I feel like, and that's why I'm already like, let's start the campaign for him as well for awards here. I'm sure he's going to be a scene stealer and standout, as they all will in their own ways. But like, I just can't wait to see even where because he's so young yet. I mean, where's this man's career? The same with Ariana. I feel like after this, like, what is her career going to be as an actress? In doing, like, Cynthia Erivo does great movies and has this is a big musical movie for her, but she has an incredible background already as a dramatic actress. But so we expect her career to continue. But the trajectory here for Ariana as an actress after this is really exciting, and the same for just how this is going to amp up and really make Jonathan Bailey a household name.
I really feel like this will be a career marker for all involved. Not that any of them really needed it because they are all geniuses in their own right. But I really feel like if any of these folks were waiting for their moment, this is the moment.
Yes. And we have Julius. Hey, Julius Johnson.
Julius!
Hey, we need more Fierro. I agree. Yes. And I'm sure we're going to get plenty of it. Okay. Then we have this really cool look. Okay. This is amazing because there's so much to unpack here. First, Tori, I know you're not going to be pleased by this.
Oh, I already know where we're going.
It does remind me a little bit of that moment in Oz the Great and Powerful with the reveal of the, the cloaks and the munchkins, which I already feel this is improving upon that moment from Oz the Great and Powerful.
That was my least favorite moment. And that was, that's already bottom of the bottom. But that was my least favorite moment because I felt the song was so out of place.
I know. Well,
this will be one short day, which will be just a bop. We'll be dancing.
And we've talked about it before, Tori, and we are going to eventually do an episode of Oz Talk where we really do debate Oz the Great and Powerful. But this is an area where we will agree on something that didn't work, because for all that Oz and Oz canon and history and integrity has music that's usually very good, some of it not so much, of course, but like, to put a lyrical moment in Oz the Great and Powerful from Danny Elfman and not have it be good lyrically or melodically or anything else is just really a big bummer, because it's like, then don't do it. So I will agree with you there. But looking at the costumes again, comparatively to what we saw in the Wiz film and the MGM film, there's lots of influence. And then going to the W.W. Denslow, it's the soldier with the green whiskers, and there is an undeniable likeness that obviously Paul Tazwell, costume designer, looked at and paid tribute to, not only there, but also with these costumes where we see from the Denslow depiction of Glinda's maids and soldiers.
It's just spectacular. And, I knew they were going to draw from L. Frank Baum, but I didn't know it would be right there. Visually, I figured there would be subtext or literal text, but the fact that visually it's here as well, spectacular. And again, not necessary. Nobody but us are going to know, nobody but the hardcore Oz fans are going to notice those things. But what that tells me is this movie is for us. Yes,
it is. And that's the kind of thing, because I feel like all the movies, sorry, my Toto is giving me a little bit of a whine. I'm going to give her a couple treats.
Toto break, everybody. Yeah, no one minds the Toto break. It's live, folks.
Toto wants to say hi. She is in desperate need of grooming, but since she was kind enough to give us a shout out and a hello today, I'll give her some treats. So, but yeah, you're right. Like, I feel like we already had some bomb in the background of the trailer. When people zoomed in and found in not the throne room, but the tower where the balloon is, and the rest of it, there's some bomb Easter eggs there, and pointing out that this is for us and the diehard Oz fans, the biggest Oz fans. It's so true, because many of the Oz projects, whether they were for TV, stage, film, novels that come out, I often wish, and it doesn't have to be me, it doesn't have to be you, Tori, but we've got a bunch of other Oz historian friends who we love and respect, and any one of us could be not even hired. We'd probably give our services for free just to be a consultant on any of these projects, to check off and infuse some Oziness and some Easter eggs in there. And in this case, they're Easter eggs, but it also feels like you said, it's more like it's for us. So it's kind of, they are Easter eggs. They're there for us to notice, but it's also the right thing to do. I feel like had we been consultants, and who knows, I'd love to know who they had. If everybody on their own was so invested, we know Ariana read the material. We know John sure did his more than enough homework, but clearly Paul or his team or someone else was looking through, a century of Oz decor and design to draw from. And so it's just brilliant to see it all there.
Yeah. And, it's just going to round out the world in a way that, that will be long lasting,
Yes, absolutely. Oh, Colleen is here. Hi, we miss you too. So good to see you, Colleen. Thanks for saying hi from Chittenango, birthplace of L. Frank Baum. Very kind. Thanks for watching. All right. This magical moment, which we've already seen in the trailer, but I just wanted to look at it here because we know that it was done with strings. But again, here, the fully formed and fully built out Shiz University courtyard, but also here's an appropriate use of CGI and special effects. They erased the wires that are levitating Nesseros.
Yeah, again, Marissa Bodie, nerves of steel. I mean,
it's so true.
This is like one of those slingshot rides at the fair, you know, when they strap you in and then they go 3, 2, 1 and you go, wow, you know, all the videos of people. This is the equivalent, the Ozian equivalent. They attached her wheelchair to wires and flung her into the air. And I have a feeling this may be her favorite day of filming. I'm sure she had a blast. Oh my gosh. I get the sense that she's an adventurous gal. So I feel like this would be something she'd enjoy. So I feel, but I wonder, I'd love to ask her, like, tell me about this. Was this terrifying or thrilling? Tell me where we are.
You have to, because it looks like, she goes up really fast, which is like,
really
you lose your breath. That's like where some people actually pass out on those. I watch those videos on YouTube of people getting catapulted and they like pass out, it's funny. But then hopefully they let her down really gently. I mean, because obviously she doesn't come crashing down, but oh my gosh, I wonder how many takes that took, because that's,
I wonder, and God bless her. That must have been a day. But again, in an outdoor setting, completely practically built. And here's a moment, again, where our imaginations fill in some of the space on stage where they were really able to take this up a notch.
Yes, absolutely. Here we see what looks like Dr. Dillerman's or another classroom. And again, it looks dome-shaped. I love the sticking with the circular. I mean, I wish I had a classroom like this in college.
Me too.
Just really, really cool. They were announcing, we'll talk about merch, but there's some replica pieces coming up, an overview of Shiz. And at some point, we're going to need a new map from the movie, because I wonder what the spaces that we're looking at to the left there. It looks like, we see in the front, the courtyard, the arrival, the scene we were just talking about where Nesseros flies up, Glinda's ship approaching, little boat, but we've got to see the layout of Shiz and all these different little areas, because there's so much.
They do end up, fencing and playing sports. So maybe some of this are, fields where these sports takes place and where they have their physical education of some sort. Mm-hmm. It did occur to me, like, is the Wugglebug going to be teaching any of these physical activity courses? Oh
my God, that'd be so
neat. You see them with their staffs, fighting with one another in the trailer that was released. And the first thing that occurred to me was, who is teaching this class? Is it the Wugglebug? I hope it is.
That would be so good. Or it would be so good. Or is it Hagrid? Just kidding. But
Wrong franchise.
Wrong franchise. But I wonder too, like that last scene in Return to Oz, because we haven't seen any specific Easter eggs to that, but in the last scene of Return to Oz, we see all the a lot of book characters, which over the last, several decades have been fun for us all, trying to find Glinda if she's there, and Polychrome and Professor Wugglebug and the rest of it. So it will be really interesting to see, if not featured, if they'll just be kind of there in the background. This is the first film, honestly, where, I mean, a lot of movies that I like, and I know you're the same, we will rewatch. I like or attend things we love over and over. This is the first time I'm actually planning on, and we'll have no problem seeing a film back to back. I'm going to, opening day, see it, and then see it again immediately after, and just,
I have plans to take that entire day off and just go on repeat.
Yes, that would be, I mean, and I think it would be just completely enjoyable, and shocking every time. And like The Wizard of Oz, I mean, to this day, I watch The Wizard of Oz in all my years and still see new things. So this movie looks so detailed, even more detailed in 2024 than what was capable in 1939, that for the rest of our lives, we will be dissecting this film. And thanks, John Chu, for that.
Thank you.
That joy.
New to chew on.
Yes. The last image is Elphaba beginning to defy gravity with a kiss of the rainbow in the sky, which is so beautiful. And I mean, this is obviously the wizard and it just looks amazing.
Yes, again, here we have a moment where on stage, Elphaba just walks down stage right in front of the audience, delivers that powerhouse note, and it brings the house down every time. Here, there's no audience to react, so they have to fill in the space with the visuals. And look what they've chosen to do here. We have reminiscence. We have the essence of Judy Garland right here in this shot with the rainbow. It will call your mind immediately to the MGM film. Meanwhile, in the foreground, you have Cynthia Erivo jumping, doing her stunts, singing live. And because, of course, they're going to be using a combination of the live performances and the pre-recorded performances to bring us the audio. Just above and beyond in every which way. Every way that they could have cut a corner, instead, they rounded that corner hard and went harder. They didn't have to, but they did.
Yeah. And thank you to Universal. I mean, Wicked on stage has made billions of dollars worldwide. So you did it right to go ahead and pour the money in here, because the material deserves it and the fans deserve it too. Not even people who are diehard Oz fans. They are just true Wicked theater fans. And we're all chomping at the bit for this. So the film is opening November 22nd. We cannot wait to see it. Thank you for this new featurette. And Tori, it was great talking to you about it. Before we wrap up, though, let's talk a little bit about new merch.
Let's do it.
Yeah, there are some, before we do a little show and tell, there's talk of, the Noble collection doing replica pieces, of course, the broom, the both of Glinda's wands, hat potentially, Glinda's crown. We're still going to wait to see. Oh, plush of the lion cub and of Chistery, which is really great. And
those are going to be coming from the Noble collection, which was in that list that was announced early on when Universal gave us that whole list of providers that were going to be working with them and making content and making stuff. That was included on that list. And so I'm really excited to see what they come up with. I know they're renowned for their Harry Potter replicas. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Definitely. And then, there just been some other leaks of other things to look forward to that are coming up. Now, I love that we knew on that list when Universal announced partnerships for licensing that Swarovski crystal was on there. And so I know that Swarovski does figurines that run anywhere from, $150 to $800, depending upon the size and scale. But they also do great jewelry, and there's an opportunity here for that. I love Swarovski. I've got my pink goes good with green Swarovski bracelets for the Wicked years. And then also Ariana was just named an ambassador for Swarovski. So I feel like the synergy and tie-in there, she'll probably be doing the marketing campaign for the film.
Here's hoping. And of course, Ariana Grande's own beauty company, REM Beauty, teased a Wicked collaboration. So that will be forthcoming. But in the immediate, John Shu just released his new book, and he launched that by doing a talk on Eventbrite with Ariana Grande, where she interviewed him about the book. In the background of that interview, you can see the little golden books coming out for Wicked as well. Yes. I Am Glinda were in the background there. But I have my brand new copy of Viewfinder, a memoir of seeing and being seen. He started writing this while he was on the set of In the Heights, and it, of course, culminates with the making of Wicked. I'm so excited.
Autograph shout out. Amazing.
Yeah, I got this at the Drama Bookstore where they have some signed copies. So if you're interested, please go and buy. They are a small bookshop comparatively. So go ahead and grab your copy. There's also a lot of fans right now making their own stuff. And I got this brand new bit from, I want to make sure I get the name correct. This is Sammy Gorin Art. They're making notepads with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo on there. It says One Short Day. So you can snag these at Sammy Gorin Art on Instagram or sammygorinart.com.
It goes good with green.
It goes good with green.
So good. And of course, in the world of Oz, we've got the San Diego Comic-Con, which is this weekend, released exclusively to Walgreens, the Wicked Witch of the West figure with the crystal ball and little winged monkey. It's the same size as the classic Funko Pops, but I just love that with this release that they've really gone all out with the chases and the extras, exclusive. I mean, this is really, really adorable. My friend Jason got this for me. Thank you so much. I love it. And so save me running around to all the different Walgreens stores,
And, this is we're only 4 months out. So the merch is going to start spiraling. I know Caboodles has a set of makeup cases coming out. We have the Crocs release coming. We have beauty products coming. There's going to be a deluge. Mm-hmm. We have Mattel, we have Lego, and the Lego announcement is coming at the end of August. So we don't have long to wait to find out what those are going to be. So hold on to your butts because this is about to get crazy.
It is. Zachary's asking, hey, Zach, thanks for watching us. Yeah, I don't know that it's in every Walgreens yet, but it's rolling out. And, by next week, it should be.
Some Walgreens, I got mine. They released early. I know they had them in the back. Some Walgreens are saying, "Oh, that's a Halloween thing. That's not coming out till October."
Oh.
So it really depends. Not every Walgreens is going to get one, and these are limited editions. So when they run out, there aren't going to be more.
Thanks, Zach.
Zach, you're saying.
I'm sorry. What did you say, Zach? That's very kind. Yes. So they are available, and they're also available probably for a little bit of a higher price point. You can get them on eBay, right?
They're actually not terribly expensive yet on eBay because they're not super rare yet. The Funko Pops, I would say, once they start selling out, the prices on those are astronomical. So snag them while you can.
Yes. Sammy's asking, yes, of course we will. After we see the movie, we will do an Oz talk.
100% yes.
100% yes. And very cool. There's also what else did we see that they're coming out? Oh, all the bags. I mean, I think everything from
Loungefly is going to have a collection.
Right, which will be really great because that'll be very character driven and collectible. But there's also that what's that store? They do like quilted bags and stuff. I'm blanking on the name. It's at a lot of malls and things. Oh, how embarrassing. I shouldn't have even brought it up if I couldn't remember it. But they're doing a collaboration. I think there's going to be some homewares, lots of really exciting things. So I mean, it is the time to save up. We were talking about Fierro, and I think I was hoping there would be a figure, but there is apparently a Fierro doll coming, perhaps exclusively to Walmart as part of that collection and run. So yeah, so many things to look forward to and expensive, but also timed for the holidays. So we can start making out our holiday wish lists and the rest of H&M. Julius is reminding us as well.
Yes, already came out. So we are going to see lots, and I'm sure Hot Topic will get shirts. I'm sure that all of those, kitsch stores will get things. Just temper your budgets, folks. Don't forget to budget carefully, and don't go into debt for Wicked merch. But as I will probably go into debt for Wicked merch.
I know, no, it's so true. Janice, yes, expecting multiple podcasts about part 1. She's talking about the characters, talking about the references, talking about the changes, the additions. We will cover it all. That is our job as us historians, and it doesn't even feel like a job. It's labor of love. It's just, our brains just go there. So we're happy to share it with all of you. But this has been really fun. Tori, any last words?
I'm just so thrilled that the marketing team for Wicked is being so great with the fans. They are doing so much to reach out. For example, John Shu's online event with Ariana Grande.
Oh.
Things that you just don't see with every film release as we're getting there. They are reaching out to fans in such a unique way. And it feels personal. It feels like the right personal touch that this would need. So I'm just so excited.
It's a good question from Sammy. Guesses on runtime for part 1. I'm assuming it's going to be under 2 hours. Because I think if they make 2 films, they can make them. I would be happy if it was over 2 hours or at 2 hours.
I'm hoping for 2 hours minimum. That's my hope.
Yeah, that's my hope as well. But we'll see. We'll see. That's going to be very, very interesting.
Thank you, Alexa.
Yes, very good. Oh gosh, there you go. Yeah. Alexa's saying that hopefully it's better than Oz the Great and Powerful. All right. Thank you guys for watching. It was really sweet of you for joining us today. Please like this. Please share it. Follow us on both of our YouTube channels. Tori's at the Oz Vlog. I'm at Ryan J Reviews. It really helps us to be able to do more content and to be able to take the time to make this great and do the research for you guys. We appreciate it so much. So thank you for watching. Until next time. See you soon, Tori.
Bye.